There you go. Oh, don't you just love it? I want to welcome everyone to a special edition of Bobby Likis Car Clinic here on Paltalk. And I'll tell you, for me, it's an hour of my life each week that I get to take a break. And this is a break for me. I think 3 may be a little bit too hot, Bill. And I will tell you from a standpoint that it really helps me during my week to meet with everyone here on Paltalk. I've got a lot of information today, but you can please put your hand up, invite your friends into Paltalk, and let's get started. Let's get rolling. I want to talk a little bit about GM Facts and Fiction. If you're not familiar with that site, by all means, you should go there. It's called gmfactsandfiction.com, and there's a tremendous amount of information there. And I know, because it's a GM website, I know that your first thought, or some of you, your first thoughts might be, well, now that's going to be pro-GM. Well, I would say that to you, if you, I don't know what company you work for or with, let's take government and set government aside. If you work for Lowe's, then you should be pro-Lowe's. If you work for Ford, you should be pro-Ford. If you work for the post office, you should be a great post person. And I will tell you, there's nothing wrong with protecting one's own interest, especially, and I've got some facts for you here, with regard to the big 3 and what's going on in Washington as we speak, how that will affect us. And I can assure you that's going to affect us in a significant way that you just wouldn't believe. I believe the trim on one, we're going through a couple of changes here, and I believe the total top of the trim on one may be a little hot. It should be at noon or so. So if we would check that, and Bill, we've done some reconfiguration in the control room. It just seems like it's a bit of well, it is over-modulating. So we're just a little bit, probably the slide needs to be at U. So make sure that the slide is at U there. Is that better now? Or is that where it was? Okay, so forgive me if I seem a little hot, but not upset, but I mean hot. We've been configuring our studio here, and we've changed from a couple of 3 microphones to another microphone, and this is a whale of a mic. Okay, here's where we'll start. Here's something I think that would be interesting, and you're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. I'm Bobby Likis here on Paltalk.com. To help reduce air pollution at the busiest container seaports in the United States, Southern California Gas, now this is really neat, that's the gas company, joined by officials from the Port of Long Beach and Los Angeles and the South Coast Air Quality Management District. That's called the AQMD. That's an air quality management district on the south coast there, launched this week a 12-month demonstration of the nation's first clean-burning compressed natural gas, CNG. Now, we've had for years compressed natural gas vehicles. I mean, that's easy, and that technology is not anything new, and we all know, those of us in the industry, that if you burn CNG in an engine, the oil stays cleaner because you're not taking liquid, which is what I got in my cup here, water. You're not taking gasoline and trying to convert it to a gas, because gasoline in its liquid form will not burn. So if you use compressed natural gas and then it's delivered as a gas, then it's already in its ready to burn state, just like when you turn the stove on for your natural gas ovens at home or hot water heaters. So that's a clean, and you've seen how pretty blue the flame can be. That's a clean burning fuel. And so what they're doing in California to study the natural use of natural gas in port operations, 4 heavy-duty CNG trucks will move containers between the San Pedro Bay ports to nearby freight consolidation yards. So the CNG truck engines are certified to meet the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, and I'm just sharing this with you. Pardon me if I'm reading this, but rather than to try to remember it to the letter, it's important for you to know that right now the ports in California and the Southern California Gas Company joined hands with the Air Quality Management Board, and they're going to take 4 big vehicles, and they're going to use these truck engines. They're certified to meet the EPA stringent 2010 on-road emissions, and the trucks are expected to reduce nitrogen oxide, that's NOx, not like you knock on a door, but that's a NOx is an emissions, and the fewer NOx you have, then the better it is, and that's a precursor to smog by 80%. So that's what they're going to do, and that's just in one area of the country. So that's good for that area. But what's really good about that, and why is that important to us, or could it be important to us, is it shows a commercial viable application of CNG, compressed natural gas. Now, you can go out and convert your existing car to compressed natural gas, but I'll tell you, you're going to spend $6,000 or $7,000 to do it. And gasoline would have to be $5, $4 a gallon, which I believe it will be, before you would ever see any return on the investment enough to $2 a gallon. Then that would be totally out of the question that people would do that. And that brings up to me, one of the words that I don't like to use is the word plot, or planning is wonderful, but plots. I mean, a movie has a plot, or else it's not much of a movie. I've seen some movies recently that didn't have a plot, and you walk out saying, well, that was a waste of time. I want my hour and 20 minutes of my life back. That's the way I feel when I leave a bad movie, and I've left some after 20 minutes so that I wouldn't lose that hour of my life. So I don't want you to lose an hour of your life with me. I want you to enjoy it, and so I share this with you. In the mid-'70s, the gas companies, and I'm not here to pick on the blenders, that's the gas companies, decided that they would come out and spend millions of dollars against gasohol. Gasohol is 10% ethanol. And the reason they did that is to keep all the profits of a gallon of gasoline, because rather than buy 10% of ethanol from the farmers, the growers of corn, or other means, it's not just corn now, but other means of production of ethanol, they created MTBE. What is that? It's methyl tertiary butyl ether, and that's an oxygenant.